The Golden Globes are tonight, and I bet by the end of this video, you'll probably agree this should be the last one. The Golden Globes have a long history of corruption, sexual harassment, and racism, and that was before Jay Penske got involved. So the Golden Globes were started by the Hollywood Foreign Press Association in 1944. Unlike the Academy, this small group of foreign, quote, journalists doesn't really have any ties to Hollywood. The list of members isn't public. What we do know is that they're disproportionately old. And apparently they do some funny things with money. Because there's basically no rules. Way back in 1968, the federal government was like, nah. It was found to be misleading and NBC had to drop the broadcast. And then in 1982, an actress received a Golden Globe for a renowned flop after her husband flew the members down to his Vegas casino. And CBS had to drop the broadcast. Now class, this is where things get interesting. The following year, DCP picked up the Golden Globes. Remember this LA Times article that I started with? This 2021 expose was so successful that it brought about change in the organization, which ended up making things worse. The first thing that happened was the 2022 Golden Globes weren't televised. The second and more important thing that happened was DCP and Eldridge Industries acquired the Golden Globes. Check the date, that's June 23. In January of that year, Penske Media Eldridge purchased DCP. The next part is really convoluted and you're just gonna have to lock in because it's really important for what's happening right now. All right, so after the whole LA Times fallout, Todd Boehly was named the interim CEO of the Press Association. Billionaire Boehly then kicks out his production agency that he worked with the Golden Globes and brought in Jay Penske. This was a clear conflict of interest because Penske owns all the trade publications responsible for covering the Golden Globes. And they had other deals on the table, including from a black couple that was willing to pay the Press Association members substantially more money. But in the end, they ended up voting against their own self-interest because of this woman right here, Helen Holm, who wanted the deal to go to Penske and Boehly. And the first thing the billionaires did was petition to dissolve the nonprofit and have the Golden Globes become a for-profit enterprise. This ended up just jacking up the prices for all things associated with the Golden Globes. Apparently, they reneged on the lower $75,000 salary that they were offering. Now the members are like, maybe we shouldn't have listened to her. They voted 59-1 to kick her out. But she's still president of the for-profit arm of the Golden Globes. All right, let's move on to sexual harassment. So in 2003, Brendan Fraser was inappropriately touched by a member of the Press Association. Not just any member, an 8-time president. Fraser said it was sexual. Philip Burke says he was just joking. It was so deeply triggering and traumatic for Fraser that he disappeared for Hollywood for over a decade and didn't reappear until 2018 when he made this article in the wake of the Me Too movement. Scarlett Johansson has also experienced sexual harassment at the hands of the HFPA. Here's a statement that she's issued. Finally, let's talk about the Press Association and racism. Inappropriately touching Brendan Fraser does not get you kicked out of the Press Association. He wasn't kicked out of the Press Association until 2021 when he called Black Lives Matter a racist hate movement. Mind you, he's an elderly man from South Africa. And to end where we started, no black members at the time of that reporting. No one is rooting for the Golden Globes to exist other than billionaires like Penske and Boehly, and the Ellison billionaires who own CBS where the Golden Globes are broadcast.